So this first one's from @Bobo Brian. And Bobo says...
What does Bobo have to say?
I think that's the first time you've ever said...
I woke up wondering what Bobo was thinking.
That's the first time you ever said, what does Bobo have to say? Due to economic pressures, influence on voters could likely see a ... forget it. Are you going to legalize weed or what?
I figured that's what Bobo was going to ask.
That sounds like something he would be interested in, yeah.
We're not going to be legalizing weed or what anytime soon. But what we are trying to do is make sure that when it comes to drugs, that we're not just thinking about law enforcement, we're also thinking about treating it as a public health problem. Because if you think about the progress we've made on things like seat belts, smoking cessation, which I know a little bit about, when we provide prevention...
I think we've gone far. Yeah, I think we've gone far enough to handle this.
We know our president has said...
In his own book, Dreams from My Father, 1995, before entering politics, he admitted that he'd used marijuana and maybe a little blow.
Maybe a little blow.
Maybe a little blow, which, as you know, is crazy talk. Maybe a little blow is what someone who uses marijuana every weekend says. If you used it once, you went, man, I used cocaine once, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But if you use it every weekend, you go, maybe a little blow. That's such an odd, casual way to say, yeah, maybe a little.
Now, he has not left this to states' rights. As you know, medical marijuana, as our good friend Joe Rogan will point out to you anytime, medical marijuana you can get in California. And the feds are coming in to try to stop this.
They're still arresting people,
States' rights don't mean jack shit to the Obama administration on anything except gay marriage. What troubles me about this is, it is not hypocrisy, because as everybody knows, hypocrisy doesn't bother me very much.
You like hypocrisy.
It doesn't bother me. I even had a Starbucks cup. You know when they were doing quotes on the Starbucks cup?
Yeah.
On the Starbucks cup, if you got a tall Starbucks cup in the early part of this century, a tall Starbucks cup you could have gotten, and the hardcore Penn Jillette collectors, of which there are none, have these cups that say hypocrisy is a sin that doesn't bother me very much. If you say one thing and do another, you've at least doubled your chances of me agreeing with you.
Yeah.
And so Obama...
And yet you feel this is worse?
I think it's beyond hypocrisy. I think it's something to do with class. You know, and a lot of people have accused Obama of class warfare, but in the wrong direction. I believe this is Obama chortling with Jimmy Fallon about lower-class people. Do we believe, even for a second, anybody believe, that if Obama had been busted for marijuana under the laws that he condones, would his life have been better? If Obama had been caught with the marijuana that he says he uses and maybe a little cocaine,
felony conviction.
This casual attitude toward drugs, a casual attitude toward drugs that makes him really cool on Jimmy Fallon, makes him the hip president. I'm the cool president. I'm the happiest president. I say weed. I say blow. It's all a big deal. Ha, ha, ha. Huge laugh from the college students. And if he had been busted under his laws, he would have done hard fucking time. And if he had done time in prison, time in federal prison, time for his weed and a little blow, he would not be president of the United States of America. And he would not have gone to his fancy-ass college. He would not have sold books that sold millions and millions of copies and made millions and millions of dollars. He would not have a beautiful, smart wife. He would not have a great job. He would have been in fucking prison, and it's not a goddamn joke. People who smoke marijuana must be set free. It is insane to lock people up. Now, people bust me all the time for carrying on about how I've never had a sip of alcohol, never had a puff of marijuana, never done any drugs in my life. They say, why do you always bring that up? Well, maybe in this case it's okay to bring it up, okay? I've never had a puff of marijuana. I've never had maybe a little blow. I've never even had a glass of wine. All right? None of that shit. But the people who do any of this stuff do not deserve to be in prison. Throw some numbers at me, Godot.
750,000 people in jail for victimless crimes, a great number of which are marijuana. 1 in 6 people in jail are there for marijuana.
Not 1 in 6 people of victimless crimes.
No, 1 in 6 are for marijuana.
1 in 6 people in prison. 1 in 6 people in prison. 1 in 6 people in prison are in there for weed that Jimmy Fallon and the President of the United States of America laugh about. Ha, ha, ha. And then does this addendum that maybe will help them with treatment. Treatment from the fucking government? You need treatment? You smoke dope? You're President of the United States. You did not need treatment. Let the people go. And we've put more people in jail than any civilized country ever has. The people who are in jail are predominantly African American. They're predominantly poor. You were busted for marijuana, right, Dustin?
Correct.
Yeah, and you're a Caucasian.
Yeah.
And what was the damage for you? Do you have a record on that?
No, actually, I was lucky enough that I did not, because there was the story.
You were underage, weren't you?
Yes. The story is, I'll go into a little backtrack here, but I was in 8th grade. A friend of mine was busted. He had marijuana on him. They asked him, where did you get it? He said, well, Dustin gave it to me. So they call me into the office. They start interrogating me, trying to get me to admit that I gave it to him. And I would not. They ended up handcuffing me, taking me in. So there was no evidence against me. And luckily for that, there was no charges brought against me.
But if there had been charges, you would probably still be okay, because you're a dirtbag juggler.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't affect my life at all.
All of us, people in show business, you know. I mean, I believe you gave me that list, right? I mean, Louis Armstrong was busted. Paul McCartney's been busted. A lot of people are busted. Showbiz people do okay.
Ted Turner.
But politicians who are busted for marijuana, who go to jail, you cannot be a politician. These laws would not allow us to have the President of the United States of America that we have now. It is not something that you laugh about. It is this goofy kind of thing. Can you imagine if your child were doing time in prison for marijuana? We're doing time in prison for marijuana, and you were watching the Jimmy Fallon show with the President of the United States of America laughing about weed and laughing about Bobo.
And so many things screwed up, yeah.
I mean, I tried to talk to Teller about what the word was, because hypocrisy is not the word. Teller said it's this elitist quality. It's this, ha, 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 we all did this, you know. And they're making a huge deal out of Mitt Romney's bullying against the blonde child when he was young, and it's fine. Make a big deal out of that. But you have got two choices. You can either say that Obama was a criminal for smoking marijuana, or you can say that marijuana should be legal. You cannot laugh it off for Obama and then leave these other people in prison. I mean, we have too many people in prison in the United States, and as far as women are concerned,
almost 2.5 million. Almost
2.5 million people in prison, and 1/6 of those is marijuana. And for women, it's all drugs and all prostitution. Why don't we just protect us from the violent criminals and let everybody else go? And this is from a person who's never had a puff of marijuana and who hates marijuana more than Obama hates it. Obama did it. Just don't laugh about it. Did you have Emery on the phone to say something about gay marriage? Is he still there? He's gone. I wanted to hear what Emery had to say. Because what are you holding? A lot of papers.
I have a lot of papers of admitted marijuana use from politicians. Bill Clinton, Steve Cohen, Andrew Cuomo, Howard Dean, John Edwards, Newt Gingrich, Al Gore, Joseph Patrick Kennedy II, John Kerry, Ed Koch,
1/6 of the people
Barack
in prison.
Obama, Sarah Palin, George Pataki.
Right now, 1/6 of the people.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jesse Ventura.
I will bet you.
George Bush.
That Mitt Romney has not smoked marijuana. I'll bet you Mitt Romney has not smoked.
Mitt Romney is not on this list. That he hasn't admitted to it.
I would bet.
Hasn't.
I would bet he hasn't. That's kind of a Mormon thing. The Mormons kind of stick to that. I would bet Mitt Romney hasn't. And Mitt Romney also, if he follows his Mormon faith, does not drink coffee,
right,
or drink alcohol.
Right.
Mitt Romney has not said he wants to outlaw coffee or he wants to outlaw alcohol. Mitt Romney's position on drugs is he would like other people to have more drug use than he himself has. His position is essentially mine. I don't drink coffee. You're welcome to. I mean, I'm guessing this. He has never said this, but I'm guessing this. I do not drink alcohol. You're welcome to. Okay? That's Romney's position. Obama's position can be said very simply, I used marijuana, I used cocaine, you should not be allowed to, or you should go to jail. Every politician, and Ron Paul is one of these, and Gary Johnson is one of these, should want more freedom for people other than themselves. Our morality should be within the government's rules. You, Michael Goodell, you don't smoke dope.
I don't.
You don't smoke dope at all. Never have. Never have.
Not a chance.
You would like other people to be able to smoke.
I do not care.
Do not care at all.
Please go ahead.
Same with alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah. What we want out of the government is a government that is more permissive than the people. You should be legally able to do a lot of things you don't want to do.
Well, you've said it. Freedom is the right to be stupid.
Yeah, sure. It's a right. Freedom is the right to be stupid, not to make the exact right decisions. And the idea that Obama thinks he can smoke marijuana and then send a message to others not to smoke marijuana is good. The President of the United States saying, I smoked marijuana when I was younger. It was really, really stupid. Kids, don't do it. I'm all for that. But not kids don't do it or you will go to prison. 1/6 of the people in prison? How much money is that? Let's not even talk about the morality. How much jingle are we pissing away to put potheads in prison?
Well, it's 35 or 40,000 a person per year.
Okay.
And 1/6 of 2.5 million, which is way out of my league on math. But I'm betting that's at least $10.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 or 40.
You're talking about 200,000 or 300,000 people multiplied by $40,000. So you put at least another few zeros there. So $40,000 by 200,000 millions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars to put potheads in prison, and on top of that, ruin their lives.
Some people have suggested that
their lives.
Some people have suggested that many of the people in jail for pot, it's a second or third offense, not necessarily for marijuana, but for another crime, and so maybe that's why I'm just going to throw out some of the stuff, some of the other side of these things. It's an additional charge, yes.
Right, but it's something else to bust people for.
Yeah.
And if it's not wrong, we shouldn't bust. And this made me furious. And then the whole gay marriage thing came out, and everybody's supposed to be celebrating him doing that, and he's all in favor of states' rights when the states' rights are stopping people who love each other from getting married, and he's totally against state rights when it's to people who. And I don't want to go the medicinal marijuana route. I believe in all my heart that marijuana has medicinal uses and should be used that way. But I don't want to go to that because it doesn't matter. The real point of it is it should be legal, absolutely. And if you are not free to put whatever you want in your body, you are not free. End of story.